Okay. This was a challenge. This was a challenging road trip to have to face two teams in their inaugural opening match. The energy in both places was fantastic. Congratulations to Orlando for packing this place for women's volleyball. That's something, when I spent my time here, that's something that we dreamed of, is being able to draw 5+ whatever it was. It was a loud, it was very interactive, it was a great crowd, and I want that crowd to continue to support Orlando because I think that's a great team to follow, and there's amazing women on that team. So Orlando, get out there and support those guys. As far as us, it was a bit exhausting playing that 5-gamer against Oklahoma. Very emotional, ups and downs. Didn't always play our greatest, and then have to get on a plane and be delayed and get in late, and then have to practice and get to bed and get up and do it all over again. But that's the way it's going to be. Can't complain about it. That's the way the pro leagues are. And sometimes you get in late at night, you get up early in the morning, and get in the gym and get some work in. I am so proud, twice on these road trips, of our team finding a way. There were so many opportunities for us to break, so many opportunities, and they didn't. They just continued to play. They took what Orlando gave us, and we came up with some clutch swings. We struggled to find ourselves offensively. We weren't at our defensive best, but we were good enough on defense. And I think it really came down to the serve and pass game. And fortunately, I felt like we were just a few points better, and that's really all it was.
Coach, what was it like for you to kind of come in there? Because does it feel like the fatigue kind of sets in a little bit? Because I saw that during those last couple of sets, you ended up getting into kind of overtime, going over 25 points in that second and third set there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask, really them how they feel. I mean, I'm just an old guy that's trying to stand up, for 5 sets. They're the ones really that have to deal with the fatigue factor. I can't imagine that playing 2 hours in such an emotional battle where you're mentally more tired than you are physically, and you're physically beat, and then come in and have to do the same thing all over again, not playing your best at all. We're very realistic. We came in here and this was not the best that we could play. We got a lot of things that we need to work on, but we have to give ourselves some grace. We've only been together 2 weeks. We've had to play. We're the only team that's had to play 2 matches so far. So, we'll get a good week here where we can get in the gym, we can watch some film, and, not put ourselves in that position where we're constantly having to fight for our lives. But think of how many times we had game points against us in those 2 setters, and we came on. We did the same thing in Omaha. Just clutch. Just clutch when it mattered. No matter how bad or how good we were playing, clutch. And that's really, what I felt about our team on the floor. I thought Morgan Hens did a really nice job of just being a experienced leader, and I thought Marley Monserrat came in and really settled things down on the floor and did a great job setting. So for her to come home to her hometown and be able to set this match and lead us to a victory, I'm sure that was extra special for her.
What has impressed you the most about the quality of play in this league as you've seen it over 2 matches with such little time to have prepared for these matches?
Everybody's good. Everybody's good. There's only 7 teams. That means 7 starting liberos over a span of like 14 or 15 years in age. Everybody is good, and there are very few weaknesses. You have to find a way to create a weakness. Know what happens if you do this. It's going to create a weakness, and then you try to take advantage of it. And really, that's what we try to do, because straight up, they're great. And if we can just find a way to move them around, or they found ways to move us around, and we were weak. So it was just a great game of. It wasn't pass, set, kill. It was rallies, kind of a tug of war game, and eventually, when you had the chance, you pulled the flag over your line.
Coach, I wonder if you could talk a little about sort of UCF's representation in this new league.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy for Abby Hansen to be able to have made the squad. And I'm happy to see that the games are being played here in the arena. I'm glad to see that the lower bowl is full. All the great fans that supported us for 15 years, I saw them in the stands. So many boosters and so many season ticket holders. And it warms my heart to see them coming out and supporting this endeavor, because we're in this as a league. It is, it's a great win for us. That's great. But just like Omaha, it was great for the league. And to have matches like this in the league makes it compelling and interesting and makes it television worthy. It makes people around the world pay attention. This is a great league, and it's only going to get better.
How did it feel for you to be on the court side there and to see your former player on the other side?
Yeah, you'd have to deal with that. That's just the way it's going to be. That happens in college sometimes. Players transfer in or transfer out, and you're playing against a former player. But that's how it is. This is a different level. It's a different thing. UCF will always have a very, very, very special place in my heart. And so it's nice to come back here, and it's nice to see all that great support going to Orlando.
Ladies, on that point earlier about the fatigue factor, the mental, talk about that battle there between the physical fatigue and just the mental, especially after that fourth set.
I think, honestly, just with the mental and physical fatigue, like Coach said, it's definitely more mental in those times, but your body just kind of shuts off in those moments, and you're like, let's go. It's a mind game. Like, who's the toughest, who's going to be the most competitive, and who's going to get the job done. And I think we did a really good job of that, just going into that fight or flight mode where, like, we're going to fight. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I think so far, like, these past 2 games, we've done a good job of leaning on each other when it gets really tough. Because, there were some really long rallies in the 4th and 5th that we were just like, I needed to come into the huddle and take a deep breath because I was like, pass out. Not really. But yeah, it's good to be able to like look into each other's eyes and see, okay, like, you're tired, I know you're tired, but we've got this, and let's go together. So I think we have a good team chemistry, and everyone's very supportive of each other, whether we're having a good game or bad game thus far.
Yeah, I thought, first of all, I got to give Karis kudos because the amount of block touches that she had changed the trajectory. Both of their outside hitters are lethal, and both Shelly and Karis got in front of balls that really slowed some things down for us to have easier transition. I thought she was outstanding in the middle, and I'll tell you what, I am sure glad that we were able to pick up Yas on was it Monday or Tuesday? What day did you come in?
I don't even know.
Seems like you've been here forever, but you haven't even been here a week.
Recently.
We brought her in, and she's made such a difference on the team with her, how well spoken she is and how well she relates to players. And she's just here to ball and have fun and play. And I think that's something that exudes throughout the team. And she fits in perfectly like a glove. And I love having you here. I'm glad that you're here.
And she's great at hair.
Let's do one more question.
Thanks, Coach.
Todd, you first brought in Lee Edmond very soon after you signed on to the team. You went to her a lot on the attack tonight, but getting stymied more often than not. So what do you do when you get the player like that ends up getting stymied? I saw Karis kind of help with that.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing you do. You try to spread the ball around. You try to get the ball in the back row a little bit to keep that block neutral. But you have to remember, we haven't even installed 10% of our offense yet. We're basically running on bare bones plays that they run in high school. This is simple volleyball right now. Now we need to get good at the simple stuff before we can start adding in some complicated wrinkles. But we're at about 10% of what we're going to be offensively. The defense is way, way ahead of what the offense is right now. But the offense is going to get better.
You guys have been road warriors. What's it going to be like to be home?
I'm so excited to play in ATO. It's going to be so fun, and I know that the marketing team here has done a great job with just getting fans, and we've all been talking to people whenever we go to shops and stuff, and so just to play at home in Atlanta is going to be electric, and we're so excited to do that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool to have people supporting us
I
and
know.
screaming when we get points so we can feed off that energy.
Yeah.
Because so far it's been, we get a point and everyone's like,
Yeah. You hear my
but it's
voice
going to be
right now.
awesome. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I don't sound like this.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.